Okay, Folkaroonies. Well, I'm telling you, seriously, was this not the Fast and Furious? Fast and Furious, okay? Super short unit 4. Okay, and now we are finally in the last part of unit 4, which is solving a system of equations by elimination. Put a bubble around it. I don't care if it's corny. Do it because why? It's me, Miss Fabulous. Okay, so here is our system that we're going to solve using elimination. What do you think of when you hear the word elimination? You should think of getting rid of. Okay, getting rid of it. Getting rid of something. Okay, and so the systems will always be written in this way. One right directly above the other. Okay, and with elimination, the key here is that you want to eliminate, okay, one of the variables so that you could solve for the other. Okay, now still, okay, it is the case that we are looking for a solution for this system, okay, and we're looking for that point on the coordinate plane where the two lines cross each other, and that point on the coordinate plane where the two lines cross each other has an x and a y value. So when you eliminate one variable, okay, you solve for the other, but you still have to figure out what the other variable is equal to, okay? So what I want you to do is you already wrote those two equations. Now I want you to draw a line because I want you to think of this as combining, okay? Why is it that for some reason I feel like I need a calculator? Can someone bring me a calculator, please? Thank you. So I might not need it, but here we go. Okay, so I want you to draw a line under this system. Thank you. A line under this system of equations because I want you to think of combining. Like some teachers may teach it as adding or adding. One example is adding, one example is subtracting. I don't do that. I don't do that. Waste too much time. Okay, saving time here, people. Okay, so we're just going to call it combining. Okay. And all you need to do is what the symbol is in front of the term, okay? So what you need to do is you need to have, I want you to look at these two equations, okay? We see that if we combine the 2x and the 6x, now remember the key word here is combine, well, that's a positive 2, okay? Okay, I don't think I'm going to need it, but we'll have it there handy. Okay, that's a positive 2 and a positive 6. What does a positive 2 and a positive 6 give you? That would be a positive 8x. Okay? Now, what do we see here? We have a positive 5y and we have a negative 5y. Well, guess what? They what? Cancel each other out. They eliminate each other. Okay? And we bring down the equals. And now here we have 17 minus 9, which is a positive 8. And all we did was combine those two equations. And now we solve for x. Divide by 8 on both sides. X equals 1. So now we put the 1 here. Are we done? No. Okay? Before I move on, I just want to make sure and reiterate that we understand what just happened. The key here is, folks, okay, that we need to make sure that one of the variables eliminates itself. Okay, so a positive 5 and a negative 5 eliminates itself. Easy peasy, and we solve for x. Now that we know what x is equal to, we can pick either one of these equations and solve for y. Well, I'm going to pick the equation that has the smaller numbers, which would be the top equation. So we're going to plug in what x is equal to. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 5y equals 17. Subtract 2 and divide by 5, right? Subtract 2 from both sides. 5y equals 15. Divide by 5 on both sides. Y equals 3. And here is our solution, and we're done. It's that simple. Okay? So, to reiterate, okay? We need to make sure that one of the variables eliminates itself. Okay? We're looking for a positive and a negative. All right? So I'm going to put up 2 examples up here, and then we will go over it live because I want you to try it yourself. Okay? So here is unfreeze. Hold on. Unfreezing. Okay, and let me move this over. Okay, so take a look at, there it is, okay, and I'll freeze it in class and then we'll go over it together. Moving on. So now we're going to talk about solving a system of equations using elimination by multiplying one equation. So there you see the title here, okay, multiplying one equation. And then we may have to multiply 2 equations to get the job done. Okay, so let me explain what that means. Everybody, you should have written this in your notes already. And as we've done before, go ahead and draw the line because we're going to combine these 2 equations. Okay, so what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for one of these variables to eliminate. And you always, the key here is put the star, okay? Multiples. Everyone write multiples, okay? You're looking for multiples. That is the key. That is the secret. Tune into the station. Okay, so is 2 a multiple of 7? No, probably not what we're looking for, right? Is 5 a multiple of 15? Ding, ding, ding. Okay, yes, score. That's what we're looking for. But listen up, folks, okay? This is a positive 15y, and this is a negative 5y. What would we have to multiply this negative 5 by to make it a negative 15y so that they cancel each other out? Negative 3. So what you need to do is you need to multiply the whole equation by a negative 3. I have a nose itch, excuse me. Okay? So in order for the y variables to eliminate each other, this needs to be a positive 15 and this needs to be a negative 15. Okay? Oh, excuse me, positive 3. So you need to multiply this negative 5 by a positive 3 to make that a negative 15. But you can't just multiply this one term, you have to multiply the whole equation. Okay? So draw the arrows, let's do it. 1 and 2 and 3. Do it now. Here we go. Ready? 3 times 7 is 21x. 3 times a negative 5 is negative 15y. And then 3 times 17 is, I don't know, is it 54? No. Is it 51? Let me get the calculator. 3 times 17. I should know what this is. Silly me. 51. I said that, but I don't know. I had a brain fart. Okay. 51. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do to make it easier on myself, I'm going to bring down the top equation, negative 2x, just to bring them closer to each other, okay? Plus 15y equals negative 32, and draw the line. And now we can combine them. And why are we so happy? Because this is a negative 15 and a positive 15, which is what we wanted. We wanted them to eliminate each other. There you go, okay? So 21 minus 2 is what? 19x. And 51 minus 32 is what? 19. How did that work out? That was amazing. Divide by 19 on both sides and x equals 1. But remember, you guys, we're solving for an x and a y value. So our x value is 1, okay? And again, you can stop and rewind, but I'm going to erase all of this. But you have the luxury of stopping and rewinding because it's a video. But x is equal to 1. So all I need to do to find out what y is equal to, let's do the smaller numbers here, is plug in 1. You pick either one of these, you're going to get the same answer anyway. Take what x is equal to and plug it in for one of the x's. So 1. Okay, so 7 times 1 is 7, minus 5y equals 17. Subtract 7 from both sides, negative 5y equals 10. Divide by negative 5 on both sides, y equals negative 2, and here you are, and you're done with the solution. So, easy peasy, okay? Let me tell you, that this is the example of where we needed to multiply, needed to multiply one equation by a particular number in order to eliminate, okay, one of the variables. We needed to multiply this one equation right here by a positive 3 to make this a negative 15y, so that the positive 15y and the negative 15y would eliminate each other. Okay, that's the key. Now the next example, okay, is going to be about that we're going to have to multiply both equations to make the elimination happen. Okay, so here we go. Let me see if I have an example for you to practice first. Do I? Yes, I do. So here it is. So go ahead and write this down. Let me move this up. Okay. Here it is. And I will freeze it and go ahead and do it, and then I'll go over it with you live. Okay, moving on. So last example for the notes. Okay, so now we need to multiply both equations. Okay? Last example, you guys. Let me see if I can just give myself, there we go, and then I'll show you later. Okay, so freeze it. Freeze. Okay, here you are. There's your system, write it down. And title it Multiplying Both Equations. So now you know, okay, that either the variables will eliminate themselves naturally by themselves, or you will have to multiply one of the equations to make the elimination happen, or you will have to multiply both equations for the elimination to happen. Well, looking at, and again, the secret is multiples of each other, okay? So here's the thing, folks. 3 and 4 are not multiples of each other, and neither is 2 and 3, but I would always pick the smaller numbers here, okay? So I have to say to myself, what would I have to multiply this 2y by and this 3y by to make them eliminate each other? Well, you know, 2 and 3 are both multiples of 6, right? So if I multiplied this top equation by 3, it would make that 2. 3 times 2 is 6y. Okay? Now, then how would I make this 3y a negative 6y so that the positive 6 and the negative 6 could eliminate each other? I would have to multiply this negative 3, this positive 3 by a negative 2. So this is multiplying both equations, okay, to make the elimination happen. So 1 and 2 and 3. Here we go. 3 times 3 is 9x. 3 times 2y is a positive 6y, which is what we wanted. And 3 times 1 is 3. Now 1 and 2 and 3, right? Negative 2 times a positive 4 is negative 8x. Negative 2 times positive 3y is negative 6y. Yay, that's what we wanted. And negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. Draw your line. Now, we can combine, okay, and solve for a variable. Well, the positive 6y and the negative 6y cancel each other out. There they go. They go away. Okay, this is running out of ink, obviously. Okay, and so 9 minus 8 gives me what? 1 what? 1x. And we're going to combine. This is, remember, this is not adding or subtracting. Please, please remember, this is not adding or subtracting. It's just combining and doing what it is. That's a positive 3, and that's a positive 4. And when we combine both of those positive numbers, we get a positive 7. Okay? Are we done? No. This is x. We also need to do y. Okay? So our x value is 7. Now we have to figure out what is the y value. Okay? Pick. You pick. Okay? Pick either one of these equations up here. I'm going to pick the one with the smaller numbers, so 3 and 2. So put the 7 in for x there, because x is equal to 7. So 3 times 7 is 21 plus 2y equals 1. Subtract 21 from both sides, 2y equals negative 20. Divide by 2 on both sides, y equals negative 10. There we go, negative 10, and this is our solution, okay? I think I have one example for you to practice with, and we'll do it live, so give me a moment to show it to you. There it is. Oh, I have to unfreeze. Hold on. Okay, unfreeze it. There it is. Freeze, okay? So we have 4x plus 3y equals negative 19, 3x minus 2y equals negative 10. There it is, and we will go over that live together. Let me just move it up a little bit. There we go. So you know you're going to have to multiply both equations in order to eliminate one of those variables, and that's elimination, and we are done with Unit 4. Fabulous. Great job, people. Go for it.